For all of history, weather was a local and immediate mystery. Storms arrived without warning, droughts unfolded slowly, and forecasting relied on scattered ground reports and guesswork. The view was always from below, looking up. The breakthrough came when we changed our perspective. In 1960, Tyros-1, the first successful weather satellite, was launched into space. For the first time, humanity could look down on Earth's atmosphere, seeing the swirling, beautiful patterns of global weather systems as a whole. It transformed meteorology from an art into a science, saving countless lives through early warnings of hurricanes, typhoons, and severe storms. This invention shows us that to understand a complex system, sometimes you need to step back and see the whole picture. The weather satellite gave us a shared global view of our dynamic planet, teaching us the language of clouds and currents from a heavenly vantage point. For most of human history, a failing heart was an irreversible sentence. Doctors could treat symptoms, but they could not replace the essential, rhythmic pump at the center of our being. The dream of a machine that could take over this vital function drove decades of research. In 1982, Dr. Robert Jarvik and surgeon William DeVries reached a milestone. They implanted the Jarvik 7, a mechanical pump made of plastic and metal, into patient Barney Clark. While Clark lived for 112 days with the device, it proved a critical point. Life could be sustained temporarily by a machine. This was not a cure, but a bridge. It showed that human biology could interface with precision engineering. The artificial heart teaches us about the audacity of hope, to build a machine that mimics the most personal of organs. It paved the way for life-saving transplants and devices, reminding us that when nature fails, human ingenuity can strive to fill the beat. On the vast, featureless ocean, ancient sailors navigated by the sun by day and the stars by night. But when the sky was shrouded in cloud or fog, they were utterly blind, forced to wait or risk becoming hopelessly lost. The solution was found not in the heavens, but in the earth itself. In ancient China, diviners using lodestones, naturally magnetic rocks, noticed they always pointed in a consistent direction. This observation was refined into a practical tool, a magnetized needle, floated on water or balanced on a pivot that would unfailingly align itself north-south. This simple device, the compass, gave mariners a constant, reliable guide independent of weather. It unlocked the age of exploration, allowing ships to venture confidently across open oceans. It teaches us that the answers to our biggest challenges are sometimes hidden in the fundamental properties of our world, waiting to be aligned with human curiosity. The compass didn't just point north, it pointed the way to a connected world. For centuries after the printing press, books were primarily heavy, expensive, hardbound objects for libraries and the wealthy. Stories and knowledge were not truly portable or personal. In the 1930s, publisher Alan Lane, stranded at a train station with nothing good to read, had a revolutionary idea. What if well-produced books were sold for the price of a pack of cigarettes in train stations and newsstands? He launched Penguin Books, with colorful, uniform covers and sturdy, glue-bound paperbacks. Suddenly, classic literature, modern novels, and nonfiction could fit in a pocket or a purse, bought on a whim. This democratized reading, creating mass literacy and a shared cultural conversation. It teaches us that accessibility is as important as creation. By changing the form and price, the paperback didn't just sell books, it spread ideas, making the life of the mind available to all. For early farmers, turning the hard earth to plant seeds was a backbreaking struggle. Using a simple digging stick or hoe, they could only work small patches of soft soil, limiting how much food they could grow. Then, somewhere in the ancient Fertile Crescent, someone had the idea to harness animal power. They fashioned a sturdy frame with a sharp blade, or share, that could be pulled by oxen. This was the ard, or scratch plow. It cut a furrow, turning the soil more deeply and efficiently than human hands ever could. This simple tool transformed society. It allowed one family to feed many, leading to food surpluses, larger settlements, and the rise of civilizations. It teaches us that leveraging strength beyond our own, partnering with animals and tools, can multiply our ability to nurture life. The plow is the quiet foundation upon which cities and cultures were built. Before motion pictures, stories were told through words, still images, or live performances. The dream of capturing and replaying life in motion seemed like magic. The breakthrough came from understanding persistence of vision, the brain's tendency to blend sequential still images into fluid motion. Pioneers like Edward Muybridge captured motion with multiple cameras, but it was the creation of flexible, transparent film by George Eastman that provided the perfect canvas. When combined with Thomas Edison's and the Lumiere brothers' camera and projection mechanisms, a strip of celluloid, imprinted with a series of photographs, could be run through a lamp and lens to recreate movement. This invention didn't just create a new art form. It created a universal language of storytelling and a permanent record of the 20th century. It teaches us that by breaking down continuous reality into individual frames, we can reconstruct it to captivate the imagination. Film turned light and time into a story we could hold in our hands. Before the telegraph, news traveled only as fast as a horse, a ship, or a human voice could carry it. A message across a continent could take weeks, leaving people isolated by distance. In the 1830s, Samuel Morse, a painter turned inventor, had a radical idea. What if you could send a message instantly down a wire? The challenge was encoding language into simple electrical pulses. His solution was elegant, a series of dots and dashes, short and long signals, representing each letter of the alphabet. This was Morse code. With the press of a telegraph key, a message could be sent across hundreds of miles in moments. The famous first message, "What hath God wrought?" heralded the death of distance for communication. It teaches us that complex information can be reduced to a simple, universal pattern. This first electrical language shrank the world, proving that ideas could now travel at the speed of light. Before modern concrete, great structures were built from carved stone or sun-dried brick, limited by weight and the skill of masons. The Romans faced a challenge, building vast, durable aqueducts, harbors, and domes across their empire. Their breakthrough came from mixing a volcanic ash called pozzolana with lime and rubble. When combined with water, this created a paste that could be poured into wooden molds and would harden even underwater into a stone-like mass. They called it opus caementatium. This Roman concrete allowed them to construct the Pantheon's unsupported dome and harbors that withstand the sea for millennia. It teaches us that a humble, mixable material can be more versatile and enduring than the most precious stone. The longevity of their structures is a testament to the power of a simple, scalable recipe that shaped the physical backbone of civilization. At the end of the 19th century, the human body was a mystery beneath the skin. A broken bone or a swallowed object required guesswork and often invasive exploration. In 1895, German physicist Wilhelm Röntgen was experimenting with cathode rays in a dark lab when he noticed a mysterious glow coming from a screen coated with a chemical, even though his tube was covered. He realized an unknown ray, which he called X, could pass through solid objects and cast shadows of their inner structures. His first image was the bones of his wife's hand. Overnight, doctors could see inside the living body without surgery, revolutionizing diagnosis and treatment. This discovery shows us that profound truths can be hidden in plain sight, revealed only by curiosity about an unexpected glimmer. X-rays gave medicine a new sense of sight, turning the opaque human form into a map that could be read to heal. For centuries, delivering medicine meant swallowing it or applying it to the skin, methods that were slow, imprecise, and sometimes ineffective. Doctors had no direct way to introduce a remedy into the bloodstream or a specific part of the body. The concept of a hollow needle existed, but creating a practical system was the challenge. In the mid-1800s, Alexander Wood combined a fine hollow needle with a precision glass barrel and plunger. This hypodermic syringe allowed for the subcutaneous injection of medicine, direct, fast, and measured. It revolutionized pain relief with morphine, enabled life-saving vaccines and insulin, and transformed surgical anesthesia. This tool shows us that precision in delivery can be as revolutionary as the remedy itself. By creating a direct pathway into the body, the humble syringe became one of medicine's most powerful allies in the fight against disease and suffering.